So I'm out here doing a little bit of shoot thinning today. This is a early spring activity that we do, and all we're doing is taking off anything low and in the middle section, which will provide more nutrients to our top positions here. I'll be leaving at least the first 6 positions. I typically go off my hand length from my cordon down. That is usually a 6 to 8 inch position where I want to leave. As you can see, this bud position hasn't pushed, so I'm actually just going to end up leaving these top 4. I'm also going to be looking for any twins, and I'm going to be pulling off the smaller of the shoot, and I'm going to be letting everything else just come off, giving all of the nutrients a chance to come up, flow through, and fill out these. These are my main concerns right here, and looking forward to next year. I'll lay this shoot and this shoot down to produce fruit, and these will become my renewal spurs, which I'll cut down to 2 buds, and I'll build my entire head region and growing system from this area, and we'll just keep growing out this way. When you're doing shoot thinning, especially this early, you do want to get it done before your shoots typically get this long. What happens is when you pull them off, they will actually leave gouges. As you can see, it's kind of hard. That is pitted a little bit because I allowed the shoot to get a little too big. So if you can get in when they're, 1 to 2 leaves popped out, it's actually better for the plant. You run less of a risk of damaging it. Now this is an example of a twin where you obviously see 2 really good shoots that have grown. So I'm going to actually pick this inside position to come off, and I'm going to be as gentle as possible. Sometimes you'll see, which it's a little hard to see, I'll leave a little excess on it, which is okay. I'd rather leave that excess than pit it in there and damage this shoot right here. But overall, shoot thinning at an earlier stage is easier. I would just be cautious of any freeze, any rain, and just be mindful of any of those. So if you know, hey, I've got a freeze event coming up, or I've got rain that's falling, anything like that, you don't want to be shoot thinning at that point of time. Also, you want to be careful with your ties. See, this bud position was caught under it, so I'm going to actually end up having to come back, cut this tie to loosen that up so it doesn't get broken or damaged. And with the older vines, it's the same thing. You're just kind of looking for shoots that are twinned on it, anything growing in these regions. Like, I'm going to get rid of this bud here. This is my cane, which I'm trying to grow fruit from, so I'm not touching anything on those. I'll actually come back later in season and prune or shoot thin some of these bud positions off, just depending on how much they push. Sometimes you're going to run across vines that just aren't doing what you want them to do. This is one. Now I have a lot, or I say a lot, I have buds broken on this side. I'm using this here to try and train up a whole new trunk. Nothing up here pushed. I had one here and a couple down here that weren't doing so good. So I'm going to leave this one, but nothing over here is pushing. So what that is telling me is that there's no good nutrients to this side of the plant. Even the 2 bud spur that I cut on here has nothing. So sometimes you get lucky and you get something like this that's pushed out. This is when you really want to take your time and look through what you're doing and save something like that, because what that can do is that can become a new shoot, and just like I'm trying to retrain this to be the new trunk, this might possibly be a new trunk or just a shoot that I can bend over next year and lay down. Or if need be, it can be a 2 bud shoot which I can grow and try and get something else pushed out a year.